Hi, I'm Martha and I'm from Big Brother and you're listening to Meet in the Middle podcast. Here is what's coming up.
How long did it take to do nominations?
Oh my God. Are you joking? Nominations took...
Jesus.
A BBBOTS legend, Barbara Ladmore herself.
Hi, Martha.
What about the fire alarm going off?
Yeah, I really want to know about the fire alarm.
Don't ask me about that.
Do it.
It's giving Slay, it's giving BB, and all the gossip from Martha. Do not miss this.
Well, speaking of Big Brother, we actually have a special guest for you. Here he is now, Martha.
Hello, Martha.
Oh, Jesus, he's falling around the gap.
Do you think I'd come up the line in a bubble?
I know where I'm putting Debbie's sauce.
Hang on, can I submit my confession?
Hello, and welcome to episode 46 of Meet in the Middle podcast. You're with myself and the gang, and as promised, we have Martha from the Big Brother house.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really looking forward to this.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm really good. I've had a lovely week. I've had as many Diet Cokes as I want. I've had Whisper Goals. I've had the lot. It's all been going on here. The weight loss is not back on track anymore. We threw that one out the window for the time being.
Who cares?
I was using the house as kind of like a diet, but we're not really slaying that on the outside. But no, I'm really good. How are all of you?
Yeah,
You
all
okay?
good. Have you had a Victoria Sponge since you left the house?
Oh my God. No, I actually no, yeah, I have. I
have?
lied. Yeah, so I had like a second birthday on the outside and we had Victoria
Oh,
Sponge.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love that.
It was great.
That's amazing.
Been
I love
very
a bit
spoiled.
Of Vicky Sponge.
Well, Martha, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Oh, so I am originally from Margate, a little seaside town down south. But I moved up, so now I live in Yorkshire, and I moved there like 4 years ago. My background, actually, which is going to really shock people, is so I'm the oldest of 5 siblings. So I've got 2 lovely twin sisters who are a bit younger than me. They're 22, and a brother who's 25, who's just had a baby, so he's officially a dad, which is very scary to
congrats.
say. As like, I know, thank you, but as like adults now, I'm like, oh God, we actually are growing up. Like, what's going on? And then I've got a younger brother who's 18. My background really was so before. I'm sure we'll get onto it, but I performed. So I did singing a lot for like different companies in the UK. I've worked abroad a little bit. I obviously have a rabbit. That's my
Marius.
whole personality at this point. Marius, oh my God,
Yeah.
you know his name. He's gonna be fangirling. You've all said his name. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna make him listen because he will be fangirling.
Give him a big
Marius,
squeeze.
and then I live with my long-term girlfriend as well. So I've been with her for almost 4 years. So I can't believe she puts up with me, but somehow she does.
Well, you have to put up with her as well.
Well, true, but she's quite easy in comparison. The poor thing, like honestly, it's rough out here, but she's still going strong, so we're all right.
So you mentioned you've been with your girlfriend for 4 years, or coming up 4 years.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
when did you come out, Martha?
So I was, as Ali describes it, late to life lesbian.
Okay.
I was also, so I'd had boyfriends and stuff, but I'd never really committed. So I kind of, for my previous work, I used to move around a little bit. So in my eyes, I never wanted to settle because I was always going to, like, at the end of the year, go somewhere else or go. So I like was very focused on like what I was doing and trying to sort of like pay my bills and find out who I was and X, Y, Z. And then when I came to Yorkshire, so for my previous company, I got asked to come up and do something for their social media. This was during COVID, and then I came up and then met my girlfriend. She said, so you've heard it here first, kids, that she actually said that she liked me first. And then I know, so she said, and then I was like, oh no. No, that's not for me. That's not for me. Bless her. Literally, I don't know why she still kept, because I was like, it's a no from me. It's not happening. And then I remember I went home for Mother's Day actually, and I like weirdly couldn't stop thinking about her, and I was like, this is not normal. Like, this is not normal behaviour. But I was obviously quite scared, and I didn't really know why I had these like feelings and stuff. It was all a bit much, and it's funny as well because. Not that there is, but there is a stereotype with lesbians, and people think that you have to look a certain way or you have to be a certain way. And I think that you know, part and parcel of me was like, well, I don't like fit into that category. Like, I don't know, you know, I really like this person, but I've never really looked at other women and been like, oh, they're, you know, I look at other women and think they're beautiful, like Rachel, you're stunning, but I never looked at women and was like, wow, they're like, do you know what I mean? So for me, it was really difficult to come to terms with that. Like, I wanted something more with her, because I was like, what? Like, why do I feel like this? Like, it's very odd. And then we took things slow. She's really helped me the last 4 years, and I think she, you know, I learned a lot about myself, and I feel so much more accepting of who I am, because I realized that label, or that, you know, doesn't change anything about me. It just makes me me. Like, and actually, when I told my mum, my mum was actually like, of course. She was like, you always were a bit different. She was like, of course you would also be a lesbian. Like, it just made mum was like, of course, like, you know, out of the five of us, like, I'm always eccentric, and I went on Australia once on a cruise ship and came back 3 weeks later because I hated being on a boat. So, you know, my mum was like, of course you're always doing these weird wacky things. Like, it would make sense. But it was nice. Like, and I think now, and I feel in our life, I don't have a lot of queer friends because we live in quite a small town, and everyone just accepts us for me and my partner Steph. You know, they know us as us, but they don't necessarily know us as being less, you know, it's just us. They just so like, actually, I don't really talk about it that often because we're lucky that everyone's quite accepting. But it's really nice to be like, oh wait, no, I am like, I'm Elizabeth. I've got a girlfriend. Like, so yeah, it was only quite recent, really. But like, I feel really happy to be part of that, like, and own that's, you know, that's me. And because it's just a tiny part of me, but it's also a part that I love, and a part that I get to share. And, you know, if it makes other people feel comfortable with learning who they are, and listen, there's no age to it, whether you're 14, 40, however old you are, when maybe you realize that there's maybe another side to you, or you want to experience, it's amazing. And I think everyone should just really embrace. I was so lucky that my family and friends were really supportive, but I would like to be that safe place for people, to where they, you know, if they feel like they can't talk to somebody, please come and talk to me, because, like, believe me, I've been there, and I understand the feelings and the confusion and things. But I think it's really important to, you know, remember that doesn't define who you are. You know, you make your own life. But, you know, just me being a lesbian is a tiny part of me, but it's a great part, and I wouldn't change my girlfriend for the world sometimes, but most of the time it's all right.
Well, the most
We're under
important
pressure,
thing
Martha. You really are.
is
Thank you.
the fact that, you know, because you've been on TV now, it's the visibility. So, you know, like young girls or older girls who, like you say, whatever age you are, it's nice to see people in their own skin and comfortable in their own skin, and just being themselves. But I have to ask, is Steph from Yorkshire?
No, she's not. She's actually from Scotland.
I was going to
She's from
say,
Scotland. So, yeah, she's from Scotland. No, she's not. Sorry, I'm just sitting on my floor because I get dead legs. So she's actually got a really strong Scottish.
Martha, it looks like
classy. I'm so
it looks like you're doing a YouTube apology video now, sitting on the floor with your hair tied.
I can get a fake tear out if you want. I did a lot of them in that house. I can do a fake tear if you like. Trust me.
every time I think of Yorkshire...
No, she's very Scottish.
Okay, because all I can hear is, has anybody got a loom band? Getting bored here.
Anybody want to buy a loom band? I'm getting really bored here. Oh, I know. That is kind of iconic, though, to be fair. I don't know where that was filmed, but I might have to visit it.
I love it.
A part of my, like, growing up history. Oh, iconic.
Well, you mentioned singing, and if people haven't seen Martha's TikTok, go and follow her, first of all. There's a clip of her singing Chapel Roan, and my God, girl, you have got a voice on you. It is beautiful. You can sing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I mean, I just love singing. It was never my intention to go in and be like, I'm a singer, guys. Like, because I think when you say you're a singer, then there's certain level of expectation that comes with that. And for me, singing is like therapy. Like, we're in a cost of living crisis. Therapy's expensive. So for me, singing is like my own, like, it's like my own, like, safe space. And it makes me feel happy. It makes me feel content. But I've really struggled over the years with my confidence with singing, because it's no stranger that, like, I don't look a certain way. I don't fit a box. I am also now a lesbian. I'm a little bit out there. And then also my voice didn't sound like my friends. It was a bit different, and I could make different sounds in my voice, and some things I could sing and some things I couldn't sing. And for years I used to try and mimic other people's voices. And then I think probably when I, like, when I came out and I started to feel more comfortable, and listen, and I gained loads of weight, and I felt more comfortable with myself, I actually thought like, no, I don't sound like everyone else, but like that's okay. And I just sort of and then I found my love again for singing.
Good.
And for me now, like I just love singing. Like I love performing. My whole, it's going to sound so silly, but my whole motto in life is that like I just do things that like make me happy, and if it makes other people happy, then
Even
that's
better.
a win-win. Because like I do love making people happy, but also it, like singing for me is like just
Make
such a
yourself
safe
happy.
environment. Yeah, it just like, you know, like when you feel a bit sad, for me I just whack on a bit of karaoke. God, me and Zoom karaoke, I like this.
We can all relate.
Oh, me and YouTube, honestly. You know, like remember when you feel sad and you type in Christina Perri Jar of Hearts and you're in your kitchen shouting it out? Like that was me. Like that was me, honestly. But like I love performing, and I was really fortunate that I did it for a job for a number of years, and I still do gigs and stuff like just local, because I'm also terrified of driving, so I don't like to drive too far. But I do little gigs in my area, which, and for me it's just like it's topped up the bill fund, helps towards the mortgage, because listen, we've all got to pay the bills. It just makes me feel happy. Like I come off the stage and I just feel like me. Like for me, singing is the epitome of like not who I am, but
It's another
when
part
I
of
feel
you.
so happy. Yeah, it is. And I feel so happy when I come off stage and I've had a really nice gig, and you know, I'm never going to be the next Taylor Swift, but I just enjoy it. It's just good fun. And
You're going to be the next
makes
Martha
other
Jones.
Martha, yeah,
Martha
exactly.
true, that's true.
I think we should start a petition to go for Christmas #1, Martha, and you can call it Sleigh
Oh my
Bells.
God. Oh my
Sleigh
God. You can trademark that.
Yeah, trademark.
That is
Hold on, let me write that down.
You can get that trademark. That is so good.
Spelt SLAY too. No
That
proper
is
Sleigh
so
Bells.
good. That is so good.
I'll be watching for her,
Coming
Martha.
soon to iTunes near you.
Exactly. Well, you mentioned that you coming out was only one part of you, and then we have the singing. But another part of you is you love facts. And here on the podcast,
God,
Danny actually does a section called Fact Hunt, where we try hunt out facts.
What do you call
No
me?
way.
Yeah. So I have a question for you, Martha. Well, I have two questions for you. Can you drive to Australia?
Yeah, you can. 25 days.
There you go. And what's the last thing you Googled?
Today, oh God, I've got so many. I Google stuff every single day. What did we Google last night, me and my sister? We were Googling like lots of like X Factor stuff. We got sucked into a hole last night of watching loads of like old X Factor clips and old like performances and stuff. So I think we Googled something to do with Little Mix, how old the cast of Little Mix were, who had the best outfit at one of the Little Mix premiere or something like that. Just so much random stuff that I can't even articulate it because it makes no sense. Like, and it just comes into my brain, and I'm one of these people that when I get a question in my brain, I have to know the answer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same.
Like for me in there, that was the hardest thing. I kept like, I'd think of a thing in that house, and I'd be like, fuck, and I'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake, for fucking fuck. And I'd pick up my microphone pack sometimes because I thought it was my phone, and I'd go to Google. I used to put my microphone pack in my jeans, and I would take it out and be like, oh, fuck off. Like, I can't even Google it. Like,
did you ever get
honestly.
phantom vibration? You know, like phantom vibration on your... Yeah, I get that sometimes too if I haven't got my phone. You feel your leg vibrating with your phone in your pocket.
Literally, it's so worrying though, isn't it? Like, what? For me personally, I'm like, Christ, Martha, you've gone down a dark hole, and then I'm still in the.
Technically, you've earned your cleanse by being in Big Brother house. You weren't able to Google anything. But how tempted were you to ask Big Brother, like a Siri, like Big Brother?
So many. So many. I think I did once. I can't remember what I asked, but I did ask Big Brother. But then sometimes, like, Big Brother sort of airs you, so sometimes he doesn't really want to respond. And I was like, Big Brother, is it a personal thing? But it's not. He just sometimes you'll ask him a question and you won't get an answer. So then I think I asked something once, and then I just was like, oh, I won't ask again.
Well, speaking of Big Brother, we actually have a special guest for you. Here he is now, Martha.
Hello, Martha.
No, I'm joking.
No, stop that. Oh my God, that's like, no, you're lying. Do it again. What rules have I broken, Big Brother?
She's ran out the door.
See what you did? I just saw my phone. So stressed. Open the back door.
Getting
Open the back door,
PTSD.
Darren. I swear to God, when I just told you my heart, Big Brother, I love him so much, but he also terrifies me.
Yeah.
Hello, Martha.
I used to. Oh no! Stop! Oh my God! No, stop it! Have you heard that tone of that voice?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so patronising.
Oh God. I did not need that jump scare on a Sunday night.
We're sorry.
God,
Trigger warning.
That is such a trigger warning. God.
Did you get flashbacks of that? Like
it was.
nerve?
And you know what it was as well? Sometimes I'd walk in and I'd go, Big Brother, I'm so sorry. For whatever I've done, I'm so sorry. Because I'd know it'd be a rule break. And I'd be like, oh, Big Brother, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
James got you automatically thinking you'd broken the rule.
Yeah, I did. My phone even dropped.
You're on grill for the next week now, Martha.
Guys, you are too good.
Well, talking of Big Brother, don't worry, we haven't got any more clips of him calling your name out.
Sorry, Big Brother.
We want to sort of go all the way to the beginning of the journey. So we're sort of going into your Big Brother journey. Could you tell us a bit about the audition process that you had to go through?
This whole process, actually, from start to finish, has been amazing. Like, the team and the people that work on the show are incredible. Like, I just need to put that out there because I've never come across such a lovely bunch of people. Like, and so I first auditioned / got the call in June, which seems literally like a million miles away.
Yeah, I can bet.
And I think you just had to like film a 1-minute clip of yourself, and I'm pretty sure I wore this shirt, so really glam. Sustainable girl, sustainable queen. And I can't remember what it was. It was like, just tell us a bit about yourself, why you think you'd be a good housemate. And I just was like, oh, I think I'd be a good housemate because I'm a bit nuts and I'm just chat rubbish.
Did you try and show them your party trick in the audition tape?
I think I did, actually, because they said, do you have a party trick? Yeah, and then I think so then I remember, I think on the video I did my tongue touching my nose, and I remember when I sent it, I thought, Jesus Christ. I thought those poor people that are going to have had to just sit with my tongue touching my nose, they're going to think, what the fuck?
It's a padded house they were going to put you in.
I expected fully to never hear anything, and then I think it was quite soon after I had a Zoom call, and they were like, oh, hi, we want to, so then that was exciting, so I was like, oh God, like, someone's unfortunately seen my tongue touch my nose and they want to have a chat with me. So then I had a lovely chat. But it was a really like back and forth process, because there was a lot of days where you go down to London. So then I got invited to like a big audition day in London, and it was all so secret, which is so amazing. So there was little focus groups going on in this wherever we were, but nobody could know. So like if you wanted to go to the toilet, everyone like looks around, and then they're like on their phones like messaging, like being like, is the coast clear? Can she go to the toilet? And I was like, oh yeah, perfect, thanks. It's so well done. Like, you do not see anyone else. Like, it is so cleverly well done. And then yes, it was a lot of back and forth stuff, a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of chats. Which obviously I can chat for England, so I was quite living my dream. I thought even if I don't get on the show, I've had a bloody great like chat for the last sort of few months. So thanks very much, Big Brother. And then I think I got the call in. Sorry, I've rushed straight ahead. I think I got the call early September, so it was quite late to being told, actually, because I was like, God, do I need to tell my work? Like, I don't know what's going on here. And then I got the call, and I was like, obviously I screamed, and that was a whole thing, and the poor person was probably like, Jesus Christ, are we sure we want to do this? And then yeah, so it was kind of, that's pretty much in a nutshell the 6 months condensed. But it was lovely. It was just a get to know you chat kind of thing, and throughout that whole process, to be fair to the team, they really made me feel like I never needed to be anybody else different. Good. And which obviously, because they don't want to be, but it was so lovely to feel like people had confidence that myself was enough, because I think sometimes as people we always worry, like, are we doing enough, or are we being enough? And because I've seen the show and I've seen such personalities, you start to question in your head, like, do I need to be more like this person? Do I need to be more like that? And they kept saying to me the whole way, they were like, we do not love you for anybody else, like, we love you for being you, so please do not feel like, we've got Henry, we've got Jordan, we've got Olivia, we've got Kerry, you don't need to be any of those people. And I think just naturally you question yourself and you think, oh God, but do I need to be more like this? Do I need to? But that whole team have done nothing but make me feel like who I am as a person is good enough. So for me, like, even though I only left halfway, I felt like I already won, because the confidence that they gave you, and just like the love and support that team and that show has given me, I feel like I've already won. And I've had such an amazing experience that, for me, the 100 grand would have been nice. Let's bring it. I mean, I'm going back to work next week. But in terms of like validation and feeling like who you are and your self-worth, I feel like I got that. And that's, some people go their whole lives and they don't feel like, they know who they are, and I feel like I really came out of that show knowing who I was. A, not to have an argument ever again on TV, but also B, and B, that I wear my pajamas too much, but also just that like who I am is okay.
Yes.
And as somebody that's questioned if that's enough their whole life and has really struggled to fit in and really struggled to, you know, feel like they belong somewhere, having that sort of like support from the team and the belief as well that they believe that I would be, you know, okay and a housemate meant more to me than anything. So that, yeah, the whole company is like amazing. Can't praise them enough.
It.
Love
Really.
that.
Like you've made it. You are a
Yeah, I
contestant of Big Brother.
know.
Like,
It's so
you're on the list.
wild. I know,
On the
it does
list.
feel really weird. And I feel like at least, do you know what I mean? Like in a few years when somebody says, what's your party trick? The tongue will not be touching the nose anymore. I'll be like, guys, I was once a contestant on Big Brother. That's now my party trick for the rest of time. I don't care whether they've seen the show. I don't care whether they know what the show is. I'll just, and you know when you play 2 truths, 1 lie, imagine if I can whip that one out in. No one's going to think that's the truth, are they? And I'm like, Google it, guys. I was actually on the show. Yeah, I got slimed and I went
Google it
on
before I
about
do.
Yeah.
So on the same list as Alison Hammond as well.
Yes.
God, I'm so obsessed. I think people think that's fake, but I'm so obsessed. So me and my partner, when we feel a bit sad, we just Google Alison Hammond best bits. There's so many.
Yeah.
Like when she sets
Through the
things on
table.
fire, when she pushes the person in the water,
She shows
when
her
she
cookies
almost
and they
gets
fall off the
arrested, when
thing.
she's in Italy. She's just such an icon. And for me, Alison Hammond is she's obviously that personality, but for me, she has never been anything but herself. And being, you know, she's beautiful. But being a bigger lady and having that personality, you don't see many people like that on TV. No. And for me, as somebody who has, you know, my weight's gone up and down, I've tried every diet under the sun, and I still eat too much cake. For me, it was so important, and it's just been such a crucial moment for me, like seeing somebody that, you know, I really resonate with on lots of levels, on being represented and being on TV, and like that's why I love her. Like I love her because she's amazing and she's got this amazing personality, but also she's just herself, and that's why people love her. And that's what I wanted to get to, and she really helped me through, you know, some of my sad days, and when I struggled with body image, I'd be like, well, she's made it and she's doing fine and she's an amazing, because there is so much more to us than our exterior, but this society sort of tells us that we have to conform and we have to look a certain way. And as somebody that's never really felt like they fit into any of the boxes, it's been so lovely to see people, you know, like her, like just do amazing. And she's just a great, I couldn't say enough about Alison. Honestly, I love her.
The same could be said for
She's an
you
icon.
too, Martha. You know, bring it back to something you said earlier was about, like, you know, I didn't fit the boxes. My voice didn't sound like everybody else. It doesn't need to. You don't need to kick those fucking boxes out the way, because you know are what makes you. Whether your body is tiny, big, you've got fat ankles or fat elbows, you know, or skinny elbows and a big nose. It don't matter.
What'd you say about my elbows?
No. But I didn't think my elbows were that bad, Danny.
What is really nice to hear is you talking about the team and that experience and being kind of looked after, and you know, and then, you know, kind of really also giving you that kind of encouragement about being you and being authentic and being real, because that is all you need to be. You do not need to put on anything else.
And that's what everyone needs to be. But we do, obviously, you know, we live in this ever-changing world of just for anyone, like, you know, you've got to look a certain way, you've got to be a certain way, you know, if you've got to act a certain way, but if you act like that, then you've got to have a certain career. So there's so many pressures. And I think sometimes we've actually just got to say, fuck off. And just being you is enough, because it is. And it's all everyone needs to be. But, you know, it's just,
we all have those insecurities. They all come, they all get us.
Of course we do.
You know, because we were talking about being your authentic self, being real, it's so easy for us as viewers. We're only seeing a 45-minute edited show out of like a 19-hour day. Do you think that the show has done a good job at capturing everybody's different personalities?
I think so. I think they really try their best to make it as fair for everybody, to give them, a chance at people getting to know who they are, and to letting everybody sort of see them for them. I think it's so difficult. I haven't watched any of my episodes back, so I'm unsure who who has been shown in what lights and certain things prior to me like leaving the house. I think everyone's character has been quite well representative of who they are. Like, Hannah is incredibly funny and she does come out with some phrases. Shegan, again, is a lovely guy. Nathan, yeah, he is Nathan. I think he's been portrayed as himself, yeah. And Rosie, yeah. Listen, and everyone is such lovely people. I think they do really try hard to give everyone a fair chance, because obviously that's what we're all in there for. But certainly, I would say I would have liked to maybe see Tom get a little bit more, because he's really funny, and I think people would get to know him and get to love him like we do. If they saw a little bit more of him, because he's a great guy, Tom. He's very talented. Listen, he taught me a skill or two, but I wasn't very good, so I'll leave it to the professional. But yeah, I think Tom deserves a little bit more show.
So going off on that, then, do you think any of the housemates, including yourself, may have been misrepresented in any way?
Not necessarily from what I've seen.
Okay. Of course, because you haven't looked back
again.
at
I think
have you?
Yeah, I haven't tried. I've seen clippets of Nathan. He is not my biggest fan. But I think that, again, that's just Nathan, and it's nothing. Well, from my end, it's nothing personal. Not everybody likes you, and that's fine. And everyone's got their own opinion. That's what we're all there for. I think everyone's been pretty fairly represented, to my knowledge. I think maybe we've not seen enough of, I call her Jacket Spud, but obviously Baked Potato. She's a lovely, sweet girl, and I think I felt really sad for her that she got booed on Friday, because I didn't understand why she got booed, actually, and I know that would have really upset her, because she hasn't done anything really, except be with Nathan, and if, that shouldn't really be a reason why she should get that reaction, and I know that really would have really sort of affected her, so I felt really sad for her in that sense. But I don't think anyone's been... No, I think everyone's been... They are really fair. They try really hard, yeah.
It's funny you talk about the kind of the audience reception, because it's really, at the end of the day, it's just a massive pantomime from that perspective.
Oh,
no, it's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is.
They want to get you riled up, and I think it would be hard hearing that, because I think I would be upset if I heard people booing, because you want that kind of validation that you're doing okay on the outside, but it's not actually those people that are out there that are kind of doing the voting. They may though, but
I know it's difficult, because you lose your whole perspective in there, and actually that's one of the things that we all sort of dread, is how we are going to be perceived, because you've got nothing else. You don't know what's going on in the news, you don't know what's going on the outside world, and all you've got to worry about really is like what task you're going to be, if you're going to be kicked out the back door that day, if you've broken a rule, and if how people are going to perceive you. And for me, actually, like, obviously having an exit the way I did, I was actually quite thankful, because I know the days leading up to my exit, I probably wouldn't have had a good reception from the public, and that's fine, because things went down. I've taken accountability. Hannah and I made up, but obviously people are allowed their opinions, and I think actually I don't think I would have coped going out, because yes, of course it's pantomime, and I said that to my mum. I kept joking about it, and I was like, it's panto, obviously, but then when you're there, suddenly the panto goes out the window, and it feels like a fully fledged theatre show, and it's very scary.
It's like an
attack. And so actually, really, people really do worry about how they're going to be perceived, just from it's just overwhelming. I think you've gone from seeing nobody to then, if you leave with loads of boos, it does feel so intense, really overstimulating, so it is quite a worry in there. But again, it is panto, and like you said, you've just got to sort of shrug it off, but it's difficult some days, I think.
Well, we watch it we watch it nearly every day together in virtual reality, so we actually all met in virtual reality. And we
no way.
And we've since met like numerous times in person.
Biggest mistake of my life.
So cool.
No, I'm joking.
That's so cool. You're like in your own Big Brother VR.
Yeah, literally.
Iconic.
Yeah. And so we've obviously had our own opinions, and I won't sit here and lie to you, Martha. At the very beginning, I was a bit like, I feel like she's trying to be the agony aunt, trying to get in there with everybody. But I can see that that's just your nature, and from what we've talked about, that's how you are. you know. And I think at one point I was
Yeah.
even like, get her out.
Yeah,
But
and that's so fun because it is panto, like, and everyone's allowed their opinion. Because obviously, I've got really friendly with Kerry and have had lovely chats. And then people will say she was slating you a few days ago, and I was like, but she's watching a show. Like, people are allowed to react to a show. It doesn't necessarily mean that, like, you know, when they speak to me or when they actually get to know me, that that's going to be their opinion. And if it is, that's fine. Like, everyone's different, and that's what makes us us. But that's why I wanted to do the show, actually, is because my whole life people either love me or they hate me. And I think people, even Days said to me, Days was really upset one day and we had a lovely chat, and she said to me, she was crying, she said, Martha, I didn't actually think you were like this all the time, but actually you are, like, you are. And I do just want, like, I really hate it. I'm such an empath that when people feel really sad, I really don't like it, and I just want to try and make it a bit better if I can, and talk to them. And I really I have suffered with my mental health, and I find I've done lots of different courses, and I really try and help, if I can help people in some way, whether that be tiny or, you know, try and make a difference. I really do want to do that. And but people think that's fake, and that's so fine. That's so fine that that's their opinion. But people that know me, and people that know me in my real life, like, I am the agony aunt, and like, I get all the text messages at 2 a.m. of people saying, you know, can you come and meet me, and that. But you know, from when you're going to see an hour a night and be like, oh, she's again giving her like a sob story, like trying to help somebody, like, I get it, like, and that's fine, and it doesn't offend me anymore because I'm now 27 and I've had that my whole life, but that's fine because people are allowed their own opinions, like,
But the
that's
TV
what makes
show,
us,
like, you just see like everybody's personality, and we only get an hour of it. So
yeah,
one day you could be the agony aunt, and we go, oh,
yeah,
Martha, why are you getting on like that? And then we see someone else the next day and go, oh, she was bad tonight, or he was
yeah,
bad.
and I think, like you
exactly, I know.
say, you being an empath, I think that you know, slowly that obviously started to become really clear as well. But one thing I'll give you, Martha, is we saw some clips of you going in the diary room, and you would say like, oh, I don't respect her, or how could I respect her? And then obviously you go and say something. But if everybody is real with themselves, we all have the ability to be two-faced every now and again. No, not in like, it's not done in a malicious way. Maybe sometimes it is, but you know, you're allowed to change your opinion of someone. Like sometimes a resolution of something can actually make you feel like empathy and go, okay, do you know what? I was wrong. And one thing I loved about you, Martha, is you always apologized. You were always, well, from what we saw in the edit, you would always apologize, and it always felt like it was coming from a place of, you know, I appreciate I shouldn't have said this thing and done that, and I sincerely apologize.
And it would have been. I think for me, as somebody that's like grown up never really fitting in and finding it difficult, I think actually I've come to terms with that. I'm a real chronic people pleaser, and I've said this on somewhere else that I spoke to, and I think sometimes that comes across in a way that I don't want it to, and almost comes across like I'm being two-faced and fake. But actually sometimes I just wanted people to like me, and I really thought before I went into that house that maybe I'd got to a place where that wasn't the case. But I think I still really struggle with it. So like, I would say I should have been honest with Baked Potato and said, actually, no, when you did say that, it did feel a bit mean girl energy. But I do still love you now, and I don't have that view of you now, which is the case. But I like panicked and went into a mode of being like, no, I don't like, and then I thought, no, but like, I felt bad because I'd made her feel upset. But also I should have owned that a bit more and been like, no, you know, I did think that in that moment, and you know, I did say it, and I've said it, and I'm sorry that I've upset you, but in that moment, you know, you did make me feel a certain type of way. But my head goes into people pleaser way, but with Hannah as well, and I did 1,000% say sorry because I was in the wrong, and I think, and it's not an excuse for it, but there's so much that goes on in that house, and it is like a pressure cooker, and I think, you know, every now and then we're both girls, there's a lot that happens, and I think, you know, that I was wrong, and I did say sorry to her, and it was genuine 1,000%, because I shouldn't have dragged her into that conversation. It should never have happened. It shouldn't have gone down the way it went, and to be honest, that's one of the only sort of regrets that I have in the house. But also, we do live and learn, and you know, I am now 27, but I'm also only 27, and I'm sure there'll be things that I'll make mistakes and regret in my future life. I know I've got a few in my form like prior, but I think it's it's important sometimes to have those conversations because they're quite uncomfortable, you know, when it's not nice to admit that you're in the wrong. Do you know what I mean? But also as humans, we have to do that because otherwise you don't learn or you don't grow. And I was in the wrong that night and I did feel bad, but I'm not wrong in the fact that I know I do have love and respect for Hannah. And my opinion did change. In that moment, I felt like I didn't. But I'm sure, I promise. But on reflection, when we've, you know, when I have chatted to her, I think she's an incredible person. I think she's, you know, she's so funny. She's so clever. We had lovely chats after that argument. And obviously you probably wouldn't have seen those because, you know, it's a 45-minute show.
Yeah.
But what was important to me is that when I left that house, I know Hannah and I left on good terms. And that for me was all that mattered. And I have got a lot of love and respect for her. Not in that moment, I didn't. But
because you're allowed to
as a
be pissed off
person,
with people.
she is. Yeah, I was
That's
pissed off and I
life.
say things I don't mean sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you've made some
speaking of-
Live and
really.
learn.
I think you've made some really nice lifelong friends out of this experience, you know, and
Yeah,
you know,
I
you can
hope
still
so.
have these
I hope so.
conversations. You can still, okay, you didn't get your words out right at the time, maybe, you know, with baked
definitely.
potato, but you can still have those conversations. Like,
Yeah,
really
of
good.
course. And I think it's important as friends sometimes that you have those conversations because sometimes it makes you closer because you know, life isn't all sunshine and rainbows and sometimes, you know, like my sisters piss me off and my friends sometimes piss me off and I probably piss them off, but sometimes, you know, the closest friends are the friends that you can say, actually, I didn't like what you did there, but I still
They
love
piss
you.
me off, all of these.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the kick
Well, that's why you
Hannah
love
told
them,
Martha
because you've got
that
that relationship. Yeah, but no, I completely can see why it came across like that, but just know that genuinely nothing I do was from a bad place. It was bad judgment, but it wasn't from a malicious bad place because that's never my intention.
Yeah.
It just comes across in the wrong way, and that's okay that people have that opinion. Live and learn.
Well, Martha, speaking of other housemates and other relationships in the house, what did you think of Nathan and Rosie, your little spud jacket or jacket spud, do you call her?
Big tatty.
Jacket spot.
Baked potato.
Yeah, baked potato.
Is it awkward? Are they showing any affection that's like real? What do you think about them? Will you be officiating the wedding?
Well, I planned to officiate the wedding until I saw all of the dining room chats from Nathan, and I think I might have to call it off.
Yeah.
No, I'm just. But from an insider point of view, when we were in that house and it first started to develop, it was so genuine, and it was such a genuine connection that we thought we were so excited because they're from such different worlds that we were like, what? When someone told me, I went, what? Are you joking? I said, no, they're not. Hold on a minute. And we didn't see it coming. And for the time that I was there, it did feel genuine. It never made us feel uncomfortable. They were never sort of like kissing in the corner and I had to turn away. It was never like that. It just was nice. It was, two people that were from different walks of life were getting on and getting to know each other and had each other in common. So it felt very genuine in that house, I must say. I can see, though, coming out now and watching the show as a viewer, it looks awkward, and it does look very awkward and but in that house it didn't feel like that. But also, we're now almost 2 weeks out since I've been out the house, so I don't know what's gone on. I can only comment, when I was in the house it felt genuine and it looked genuine, but now as a viewer in the last week that I've seen, I think, oh
yeah, I'm not buying it.
Coming a bit
Like
more.
this feels very awkward.
Like-
And also, do you know what's weird? Nathan's moved into my bed.
Oh,
He was in the bed down the other end in a single bed, and he's upped his stuff, and he's now in my single
How
bed.
bloody
He misses
dare
you,
you.
Martha.
Nathan, what is going on here? Yeah, I said, get out of my bed, you
With those toes.
Oh
no,
no.
I said, not your toes
Has
in
he
my
got,
bed.
has he got no
Get
socks?
out.
Did he not pack any socks in the suitcase? I'm sick of
He
seeing
doesn't
his
have any
feet.
socks.
Oh.
He's not got no socks. They got
Oh, no.
confiscated. Poor
What?
boy.
Why?
Because you're not allowed logos, and they have logo socks. And they confiscated. I did offer a pair, but he's got size 13 feet, so.
Let me there.
cut the ends off.
Yeah, I'm not buying that show, man. I think
not either.
it's very it's very
You're not buying it.
no, it's very obvious that like she's trying to do this romance thing because she's an erotic fictional writer. So of all the people to get a showmance on the show,
Well-
it's the erotic fiction writer. Come on.
True, I get it, and I can, I can so see it from both points of view, because now as a viewer, I am a bit like, oh, this is giving awkward. But in there, it did feel. Listen, for the first few weeks, it did feel, and it felt really exciting, and we were happy for them. But I can see it from both sides, so I get it. But listen, I wish them both the best, and if it is meant to be for them, I'm sure when they come out, time will tell whether it's going to be anything. And I wish them both the best of luck. But I can understand your opinions.
To be a fly on the wall when Nathan meets Baked Potatoes' mum and dad. Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah. Oh, so would I.
Well, talking of like the opinions in the house, and one of the big things that was part of the Big Brother experience was nominations. And obviously we only see an edited down version and probably a few minutes. How long did it take to do nominations?
Oh my God. Are you joking? Nominations took 8 hours.
Jesus.
8 hours.
That's like a day at work.
Literally. I was like, babes, come on. This is giving like, I was like, when's my lunch break?
Sit on the sofa?
Literally.
Did you all have to sit on the sofa?
Yeah, so you all sit on the sofas, and you get on the sofas about midday, and then you go in alphabetical order. So obviously I was sort of nearer the end. That day feels. I did that on my birthday. I was like, Big Brother, can't we just not to make it about me, but can we please make it about me and skip this?
You know what? Now it makes sense why people all say, "Oh, be quick in there." Now that makes sense.
It's so long, but like Big Brother want like long answers, so they want to try. So they ask you, because I was like, bish bash bosh, out I go, and then Big Brother, Martha, Big Brother wants to know why. I'm like, oh, Big Brother, come on, do you want a blood type? What do you want? Like, it was a lot. There was a lot that went on, but so they're really long. Like, so if people did short nominations, we'd be like, yes, one step closer to freedom. You can get up.
I was going to say, can you go for a cig or a vape?
You can. Oh God, yeah. You can get up and go to the toilet. They do lock the garden, but I think halfway through they do give you a break. They do open it back up, and then you only really have to be sat on the sofas for when the person that's just nominated walks back through. Gotcha. Obviously for like continue but so apart when they're in there you can kind of get up and move around, but it's a long day nomination. It's a long day.
So what are the gaps in between one housemate coming out and the next one going into nomination?
Not very long, to be fair. Maybe like 5 minutes. They give like you a time to go to the toilet, and then but the people being in the diary room is for about 45 minutes to an hour per person.
Ooh.
Like you don't realise, because and then the first nominations as well were really difficult, and obviously in the beginning everyone got along so well that nobody had any idea. Like from what we all said, like I don't know whether that was true or not, but from what everyone said, you know, we all found it really difficult. So actually we were going in there, and then like I think I changed my nomination one week, then I got upset. Obviously a shock, we're all shocked at that. And then a lot of us got upset because we realised, you know, what's at stake as well, because Big Brother, we'd go in and we'd be like, we want to put this person up for nomination, and they were like, Big Brother, Martha, you're not putting them up for nomination, you're putting them up for eviction. And the way they said it, like you then are like, oh my God, I'm responsible for them going home. And you go into like a spiral. Like Big Brother literally watched me go from like being up there to like down there by the time I left that diary room, like sobbing, because I was just like, I'm just responsible for someone going home and not getting any money. So you proper get in your own head about it, and like the mood as well, like starts off really chipper, and everyone's like, guys, we've got this, we'll be fine, come on, you know, Big Brother 24, we love each other. And then like by the end we're like, fucking hurry up, get back out now. It doesn't matter who you nominate, fucking get in and out, want to get off this sofa, like. And then by the end of the day everyone's so like just ready to get off, and those sofas, they're lovely, but they're not the most comfy. So actually you end up being like, come on, like. So it's a long day.
One question we all really want to know is, are there cameras in the toilets watching you have a poo?
There are cameras in the. There are.
Oh, so you have to take a poo with someone watching it. Oh,
yes.
That's a bit shit, isn't it?
On my knees.
How can you do that?
I said about this because I felt really anxious about that, and I was like, but then they said it's for just like safety reasons. So if like we fainted in the toilet, then they've got like. But I used to go in and I had this little phrase that I'd say, because obviously you have to wear your microphones at all times. Imagine being on that camera, the poor thing, the poor people. Big Brother, you all deserve the biggest bonuses. To be fair, the people that do the sound deserve the 100k alone minimum for dealing with that. Because did you see some of the stuff they were giving us? Like,
yes, when Lily went in and she had all that. I was like, oh hell no.
Honestly. But I used to go into the toilet and I'd go, Big Brother, please can you mute my microphone? And I'd sing like a little song to give them like a minute to like put my mic on mute. Because I was like, Big Brother, trust me, don't keep it on loud.
I'd probably go in and just
Don't keep-
cough. I'd be like,
don't keep the microphone on. So I'd like, and then I'd wait a minute before I like did a wee or did, because I was like, you can't, Big Brother. I was like, and trust me, like your dignity. Oh fucking, I don't know where she is. I've not seen her for a long time, but since I've come out of that Big Brother house, trust me, it's awful. Like you really don't get like a minute privacy. Like the only time there's not cameras between, so like when you go through the diary room door, there's just a little corridor before the diary room. And in that corridor, there's like a tiny little blackout space where there isn't a camera. So like every now and then I'd like just, yeah. I just, I'm exposing myself. Or I'd like do something stupid because I'd be like, oh, I'm safe. Like this is a safe place here. But like honestly, yes, there is cameras in the toilet.
I think I'm going to steal that. And every time I fart now, I'm going to say, mute my microphone.
Mute my microphone. Yes, no, Big Brother, please can you mute my microphone? Imagine the sound guys, like they must put her on mute.
Here she goes, she's gonna sing.
Dreadful, honestly. And I kept telling loads of people, but then halfway through I gave up, so the poor things would have not good. Anyway, on that shit note. Joking.
Well, I suppose the next thing we all want to know as well, is there any gossip that you can share with us that was not aired on that 45-minute daily episode?
Ooh.
Probably loads, but I can't think because I've not seen all of them back. I don't know what actually has been shown and what hasn't. There was loads of little things that we get up to, like we'd play hide and seek, play loads of little... There's not really...
What about the fire alarm going off?
Yeah, I really want to know about the fire alarm.
Don't ask me about that.
Do it.
The fire alarm did go off. We were not outside for very long. Nobody could speak to us. We were like animals at a zoo. I was very, very drunk, which I am now allowed to say, because I was in prison. I was in a jail cell for breaking the rules.
Making hooch in the toilet. Mute my microphone.
Mute my microphone. The only thing that was keeping us going, because it was Lily and I in the prison cell, and Sarah and Marcello stole us a whole bottle of Prosecco and wine, and then because we were in the garden, we obviously couldn't leave, so obviously it wasn't my fault they stole that, and then we got really drunk because that night, nobody actually knows, but I had a really bad fever. That I was really ill that night, and I had really bad fever, so I was on paracetamol, on the hard stuff. But we hadn't eaten much dinner, so we were drinking, and I was like, "Oh, it'll be fine. Like I won't drink loads." No, we got smashed. We got so drunk. Like I remember, being like, "Shit, I need to stop drinking." And then the fire alarm went off, and I thought it was a joke. I thought, no. This ain't, because they obviously briefed us on this.
Yeah, this is a challenge.
Big Brother, we're not doing a test run. Come on, what's going on here? And then actually, no. All of a sudden, it was, and then the back door opened, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this is it. Like we are going." And then we all just out the back door.
Now fuck this, I'm out.
I knew my own exit. Literally, I saw my own exit coming. Literally, that's the same door I went out of. I saw my own exit. Yeah, I must have manifested it, but I literally. We all went out, and it was not for very long. And I didn't even know about the conversation between Baked Potato and Nathan until the day that they admitted to us that they both liked each other. And because they said we had a conversation, and I said where? They went off microphone. I said we can't have been off mic, because anytime you took your microphone off, they'd be like, Big Brother says put your microphones on. So it's quite obvious when somebody's not wearing their microphone, because you would know. So I was like, how have you done that? Like you can't have done that. And they were like, fire alarm. I went, what? And what do you mean fire alarm? They were like, fire alarm. We had a little chat. I said, about what? They were like, each other. And I was like, what? Sorry.
I bet Big Brother was raging.
I bet, I know. Because I didn't know that anyone knew about the fire alarm, see? Because obviously we were like, that's not going to have made the show, because you can't, And it was really quick. It literally was in and out. It was so quick. We can't really say much about it, but it was very quick. But we didn't even know that was a thing. So they really did keep that confidential, because Baked Potato and Rosie for a few days, because we knew nothing of that. you know, from our side, if we didn't know that they were a thing, we didn't know that that was even an apple, a twinkle in the eye. But yeah, the fire alarm is what started it all. So thanks, Big Brother, for the fire alarm. It was a false alarm, nothing burnt down, and it was fine. I don't know what actually caused it, but it was fine. But nobody was hurt in the fire
That's
alarm
good.
evacuation. But
It wasn't that
yeah.
chicken that was kept in
It
the oven,
wasn't
was it?
Marcello's chicken, no, no. The fact he thought he'd get away with that, Marcello. Love you, but what was going on there?
And he would have got away with it too if it wasn't for him, that meddling Sarah.
I know, those pesky kids.
The other thing we want to touch on as well, Martha, is the bedroom. That was a tip. How did it get that bad? What was it like living in that bedroom, and who contributed the most to the mess?
I think everyone actually contributed, because everyone would like to think that it wasn't them, but actually everyone was messy. So like everyone but Izaz, who always perfectly had made his bed and he had his 2 towels rolled up
That
at the
would
end
be
of his
me.
bed, and it was always
Yeah,
perfect.
me too.
Yeah, it was very. So I always made my bed. Like I'm a very like make my bed. Won't leave the bedroom without my bed being made.
Yeah.
But then like because you're constantly in and out of the bedroom. Like, listen, 16 people can make a lot of mess quickly. So, like, if one person uses a makeup wipe and leaves it, and another person does the same, then there's 2. And then people would bring drinks in all the time, leave them there. Everyone likes to blame Lily, but Lily kept her mess by her bed. She had a floor drobe next to her bed. It didn't affect nobody. It didn't, you know, no one was distracted by her floor drobe. She knew where all her stuff was. That's what worked for her. You couldn't even see it, actually, when you came into the bedroom, unless you came up to her bed and looked down the side of it. So everyone likes to blame Lily, but everyone was messy. Like, and me and Ali used to go around and be like, for God's sake, me and Ali were always on washing up duty. So we'd go and I'd get the gloves on and we'd tag team, and one would wash, one would dry, then we'd swap halfway. But I don't think there was one culprit, because everyone was quite bad for it. Like,
I've just got an image of you and Ali now putting the marigolds on like Kim and Aggie.
Oh, we were. And it was every evening as well. Like, everyone would be like out in the garden drinking, and then I'd be like, Ali,
It's time.
The kitchen's stressing us out. Should we do? Yeah, and we'd go and we'd do our little clean, our little deep clean of the kitchen, because it's just like you can't function. Like, I never went to uni, so for me that is like the epitome of probably what a uni kitchen looks like. Whereas for me, I'm like, whoa, this is not it. Like,
I'm glad I
need
didn't
to have
go
some
uni.
sort of order here. Yeah, need to do. And I was like the mum. I was like, right, who's got bowls? Who's finished with their mugs? Pass to me, and then like I'll wash them up. And we would sort of have like a bit of a routine with it.
Right.
But yeah, everyone contributed to the mess.
Yeah.
It was bad.
One thing that doesn't translate onto a TV is smell. Probably for a good thing watching that bedroom. Was there a smell in the house that you can describe?
There wasn't actually. There was really not a smell, because I can never smell the bedroom. It obviously must have smelled. But then there's aircon everywhere, so actually the vents are open, and you do get like fresh air coming in.
Cool.
So I'm hoping.
Cold water? Remember you got cold water? There was no hot water.
Oh yeah, I remember we had cold
Did anybody
water,
smell?
No, everyone
And
did.
Nate's
Most of us
feet.
braced the cold shower. I braced the cold shower loads. I found it quite refreshing, actually, because we had no coffee either, so I was kind of using it as like my only way to wake up in the day, was have a cold shower. So no, most of us did brace the cold shower, so nobody did smell actually at all. No one smelled, and the bedroom probably did smell. I felt sorry if people were coming in the bedroom to set up various things, but from our point of view, it was probably fine. But I'm sure if you ask someone else, they might have a different opinion.
So who's the biggest farter in the house?
Nathan.
Was he?
Is he?
Yeah, Nathan. He used to say to me, and that's not me throwing him under the bus. He used to say to me, like, "Oh, I've just done loads of farts in the smoking area." I used to say, Nathan.
Well, I'm just about to go and
Nathan,
vape in there.
Poor Emma followed me in. The smoking area is hotboxed by Nathan's farts.
We literally were like, luckily that was outside, so there was actual air getting to that. But he did used to confess to me. He was like, "Oh, Martha, I have just done a fart in there." I'd be like, "Thanks, Nathan. Let me just air it for a minute." Right.
I think this is the first year with like a separate smoking area. Like always, it was in the back garden. There was a section.
I know. It's separate now, and only one person can go in at a time. So like sometimes we'd start a conversation, and then like one of us would go in, and then they'd be like, "This is Big Brother. He reminds you, two of you cannot be in the smoke." And you'd be like, "Oh, Big Brother, we're in the middle of a chat here. Come on." So then you'd have to wait and then pick it back up when someone comes out. So
Or write it on the wall like you did on week one. Martha was here.
I only did that because I thought I was going home on Friday. So I was like, I've got to leave my mark here so that like people know that I was a housemate, just in case they forgot what I look like.
It wasn't even that bad.
No, it wasn't. And
wasn't
apparently,
what?
when I came out, they said to me it wasn't even you we caught doing it. It was Emma.
Yeah, and you
And they
took
said to
the
me,
rap
if you
for
didn't
it.
admit
Onto
to
it.
it, I know. They said to me, if you didn't admit to it, you would never have got caught. And I thought, babes, did you then go and look at it? Because all the housemates would have
Yeah.
outed me anyway. So I just owned up to it. But it was Emma, apparently. They pinned that was meant for. And I went, yeah, it was me.
Twas I.
Yeah, literally. I really mugged myself off with that. But listen, we live and learn,
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
we? I did a lot of living and learning in there.
Yeah. Well, on that then, is there any secret or unexpected thing about living in the house that people don't realise?
The shower situation is tricky because you'd have to like shower and then quickly run to the toilet
Yeah.
to get changed, because that was a whole navigation system, that was a whole plan in action. There was probably loads of things, but then when someone asks you what your favourite song is and then instantly all the songs go out your head,
Yeah.
like that's how I feel about this question. I'm like, oh my god, there was probably so many moments, but there were loads of silly things that we would do. Like I kept making everyone do little trends, like TikTok, obviously, chronically online. I'd make people do little TikTok trends, like to try and get everyone to laugh, and like if we're feeling a bit sad, and then we'd make each other jump a lot. Oh, did the song ever get aired that me and Marcello made up? And we got the whole house singing.
No, there was a song I think out the back with Shaggin that was aired. That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so Marcello made a whole song up, and it was called "My New Socks Are Red," and they've got burgers on them.
Oh.
Turns out that his sock actually didn't have a burger on it; it's a sombrero, but we left it as that.
Oh my god!
So we made it up in the bedroom, and then Marcello made a whole song, and he made it about every single housemate had their own little like line, and we used to sing it before evictions because it was like a nice little like feel good song, and it was an earworm, and we would all go around the house being like, "Man who sucks are red and they've got burgers on them," and then the callback is burgers on them. And then when I left, Marcello put one of the burger socks in my suitcase, so I've got the hat socks. So I've got one of the burger socks, which is very sweet.
Nice.
But probably that, because we called it the Big Brother anthem, and we would sing it all like every day. We'd break out into
Maybe
we
they're
were like,
still
we can't,
doing
we
it.
couldn't sing commercial music. Imagine. I bet my line's changed. It was Martha Stay So Lovely, but I'm sure it's changed. I'm sure they've got another opinion.
So, Martha, we know that,
Yes.
of course, obviously being one of the most iconic housemates to have gone in.
That. This
We also-
is iconic.
There it is.
I had to get it in.
I'm so obsessed with that sound. I can't be obsessed with my own voice, but that is a great little clip. Thank you.
So we also know. We also know that you're obviously a Big Brother fan, right? You've watched a lot of the seasons.
Yes.
Like I said, I was on Big Brother's bit on the side, and I had the absolute pleasure of meeting a BBBOTS legend that is
No way.
Barbara Ladmore herself. Now,
No
do you know who Barbara
way,
Ladmore is?
really? Yeah.
Okay, so Barbara
Slay.
has a question for you. So we're going to just
Oh my
share
God,
it with you now. And thank you,
stop.
Barbara, for sending it in. You're a sweetheart, and I love you. and
Thank
Martha
you,
loves you too.
Barbara.
So here's Barbara's question.
Hi, Martha. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How are you?
Okay.
If as part of the task, Big Brother asked you to return to the house for a couple of hours, would
Yeah.
you look forward to seeing anybody particular, and why? And because you've probably been watching as a viewer, has your
Yes.
opinion changed about anybody as a viewer?
Oh, Big
Oh
Brother.
dear, 2 questions.
Oh,
Thank
Barbara.
you.
Oh, I love Barbara.
Thank
She
you,
looks
Barbara.
so cool. I love her outfit. Thanks, Barbara. I want to take Barbara out for coffee and cake and a whiskey.
Do it. She'd love it.
She's lovely. I think I probably, I don't know if I would return. I don't think my opinion's changed as such. I just think it's reinforced to me that Nathan does not like me. And that's pretty obvious. And listen, I wish Nathan nothing but the best. And I know, I'm sure he will be very successful in his life. But he's obviously not my biggest fan. And from when I was in the house, I didn't actually know that. he was always fine to my face. He was so fine to my face, which is why I was really shocked when I came out and my partner was like, he was in that diary room slating you left, right and centre. And I was like, was he? And she was like, yeah, when you were talking about Taylor Swift, he walked off and told you to fuck off in the diary room. I said, bloody hell. So my opinion has changed slightly on that. But again, it's not in the sense that like I don't like Nathan or I don't, I wish him the best of luck with everything. And, he is a lovely person. He isn't a fan of me, and that's fine. Like I said, I've had that my whole life. It doesn't. People can't like everybody. That's what we're all there for.
And you probably wouldn't spend time in each other's company in real life. So
he's a pork salesman, and I'm a vegetarian, so it's never going to work, is it?
And it doesn't sound like he's a Swiftie either.
No, exactly. So we were never maybe meant to be best.
Well, he's swift at saying "I love you."
Oh!
Yes, he is swift at saying that. So my opinion has changed on him slightly in that sense. But everybody else, I don't think, like, everyone is who they are really on the outside. On the inside, sorry, and how they're being portrayed from my eyes. Yeah. So I don't know, it'd be fun to go back in really and be like, oh, I know what you said about me in the diary room.
Could you put up with Lily screaming? That's actually Lily. How could you live with that?
Why did you do that?
Fine. Oh, see, I love Lily, but actually what's funny is obviously you only see the 45 minutes. She doesn't scream like that all the time. They obviously just take the screams from all the day and they condense them into that episode. She doesn't constantly sit there screaming.
It was whenever you were in the bunker or the first part.
Oh, in storage, yeah. There was a lot in there. See, I wasn't in. I got out. I got cake spattered on my face.
I know,
so I was
we
off
saw
to the main
that.
house. So I
was it Victoria Sponge?
Screaming all night. It wasn't what it was. We weren't allowed to eat it.
Oh,
Ryan
no.
ate a little bit and he got told off. So I don't know. It was full of explosives, and I'm sure
you would have been.
explosives.
If there was any cake on your nose, you would have been sorted. You could have licked it off.
I know. I know.
And you could
I put it on my party trick.
Yeah.
I know. I missed a trick there, to be fair. Quite literally missed a trick.
Well, thank you so much, Barbara. We love you. And
Thank you, Barbara.
thank you.
Love you, Queen.
sending lots of love to you. Right, we're going to move on. And Martha, we've got a little game now. It's called...
Oh, no, it's not.
not
I didn't mean that. Oh.
Okay.
Sorry, we'll do that again.
It's called...
Slay.
Or Nay. So...
I like the sound effects. It's such a cool game.
So I want you to give me a slay or a nay on these things.
Okay.
Are you ready? Nathan's top teeth. Slay or nay?
No.
Nay. Ali
Nathan.
analysing everything.
Oh, slay. Big slay.
Okay.
Queen.
She gets a slay. Okay, next one. Baked Nathato.
Ooh. Listen, I'm going to say slay because I wish them the best of luck. I'll say slay. Yeah, because it's love.
All right, get a slay. Lily's screaming. Slay or nay?
Listen, slay from me. I love Lily.
how
Slay
could
from
you?
me, Gally. Mainly because I'm envious that she has got the lungs and the vocal cords to do that. Because as a singer, I could only aspire to scream like that.
The range.
All right, what about this
The
one
range
then?
on it is a big slay from me.
All right.
Big slay.
Slay or nay? Lily eating her bogies.
Oh. Nay. Love you, Lily, but it's got to be a nay, babe. Love you.
All right, what about this one? Shenanigans.
Oh, it's a nay because I know it would never happen. And Shegan has got a girl on the outside, but they're lovely people and they get on very well. But it's a nay because it's a nay.
All right, what about Emma's tits?
Oh, slay!
Which
Oh,
ones?
have you seen them?
Which era?
Slay.
Oh, the tits of dreams. Slay, big slay queen.
Oh, what about this one then? Dean's beret. Slay or
Oh,
nay?
slay. I love his beret. Slay. I love his beret.
It's a slay.
Only a Dean can pull off a beret with every single outfit. Slay. He
Oh,
is an icon.
okay, what about this one then? Sarah's boat shoes. Slay or nay?
Okay, I'm gonna say, okay, I'll have to give an explanation. I'm gonna say nay, but only because it was an inside joke in the house that we joked about them, and she was very comfortable with us joking about them because she loves them, and that's all that matters. Very like my outfits, Nathan hates them, but I love them. That's all that matters. They're a nay for me, but they're a slay for her. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Sitting on the fence, obviously.
All right, thank you. That was slay or nay.
Oh, I love slay on nay. I'm going to use that in my everyday life. Thank you. The sound effect.
That's Nathan getting his teeth in.
You don't stop that.
I'm sorry, I had to.
You've
Sorry,
worked
Nathan.
overtime on these sound effects this week. You really have. So iconic.
So we're going to talk a little bit about outside life. You're now not in the Big Brother house. So tell us how life has changed since coming out.
Okay, I didn't think it would because I kind of was like, well, I was in there for 3 weeks, but nobody will really know. Maybe not many people have watched. I was a bit wrong, I think, because I've had about loads of messages, really lovely messages from people actually, just being really obviously there was a bit of negativity, but that's life, you know. Like I said, people love you, people hate you. It was a bit controversial towards the end, so I completely understand it, but I just ignore, because I don't engage in people that are nasty, because you know, like, there's enough hate in the world, you don't need to do it. But I've had loads of lovely messages. I've got the opportunity to like do little podcasts. Like, I'm amazing that I'm here. I'm having a great time. I've had lovely chats with people. Actually today I went to TK Maxx with my sister and I got stopped 3 times for a picture. I was like, it's giving Taylor Swift. Like, am I Taylor Swift? Obviously not. But it was giving. No, it's just really weird. Like, it's really weird when people. And then as we were walking back, somebody like beeped their car horn and then went Martha, and I was like, oh. And then I was like, oh, hi. Like, so I like forget that I've just been on, like, not that sounds so silly, because like obviously it's not loads of people, like it's people that know and that love the show, but it's really weird to like, because you never have that in real life, you know, unless it's your friends. So that's been a little bit like, it's been so lovely, and like everyone's been so kind.
Has any celebrities or any former housemates reached out to you, like messaged you, or any DMs sliding in?
Oh my god, it's been so crazy. So like I had loads of the housemates from last year, which was so kind. Like I've had Matty, Paul, Henry has reached out to me, which was lovely. Had a lovely chat with him. Kerry, obviously, Hallie I've spoke to, Jenkin. There's been loads of them from last year, which was so kind, because obviously they understand completely what it's like.
Exactly.
Kerry I've spoke to near enough every day, like, which is really nice. Like, she's been amazing. So obviously I'm a massive musical theatre girly, and last night a lady called
So was Rachel.
Last night, oh my god, so you might get this. Last night, a girl called Laura Pick, who is actually Elphaba at the minute in the West End, followed me on Instagram and DM'd me saying that she really loves me on the show, and I was like, are you fucking joking? Because I've seen her in Wicked like loads of times. Like, I obviously am a musical theatre girl. So she's DM'd me. Amy Hart from Love Island followed me last night. So that was really nice. She hasn't DM'd me, but she followed me, and I was fangirling over that.
Love it.
And then I've had like,
I was fangirling over you following me. So.
Really? Stop it! No, not at all. And then I've had a few on TikTok as well. Like, a few people on TikTok have followed me. These lovely people on TikTok that I really love. They're called Cheatums with Dreams. I don't know if you've ever. They're sisters. And I think they've got 2.4 million followers. They're amazing. And I think they're sisters, and one of them has cerebral palsy, and they do all these amazing things, and they're amazing people. They actually followed me and messaged me and said, I can't believe you followed us, because I followed them from in the house. We loved you on Big Brother. And I like had a massive fangirl moment, because I was like, I have loved you guys for years. There's been loads of like blue tickers follow me, which has been a bit wild.
The blue tickers, I love it.
Blue tickers is what I call them, the blue tickers.
Where's your one, Martha? Because I seen Dean had one. Where's your one?
I know, Dean, straight on the blue tick brigade. I probably won't get accepted. I'll probably be done in.
Oh, darling, you can pay for it now. You can pay for it.
Oh, I'm not paying for it.
She'll get it for free.
I'm not paying. No, I'm not that. No, I'm not paying for it. Because of the crisis. You know what I mean?
That's
I'm not
true.
paying for my costas. Not paying for a blue tick on Instagram. But listen, if anyone does, that's fine. That's you do you. Love that for you. But not for me. But it's been really nice. Really nice. I've had really lovely messages, and I felt really overwhelmed actually, because there's people that I was massively fangirling to. Not Alison Hammond yet though. Have tried. Okay. No, I haven't really. But like, one day I'll get to meet her, because she's my queen.
You will.
So we sort of want to go back to your eviction. So we talked a bit about the afterlife. So the backdoor boogie.
Not the backdoor boogie.
No. Well, this is what we want to know. How gutted were you to have the backdoor exit where someone like Izaz that's never watched the show got the full fireworks, everything like that?
True.
I think everyone expects me to be really sad about the backdoor boogie, but actually it was like I was breathing a sigh of relief because I mean, at first when I first went out, I thought, no, surely there's a secret room. I was like, take me to the secret room. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll get, we're
With
not
the
missing
screen
real-
to watch everything.
Yeah, I was like, do I get to watch the housemates? What's going on here? But then when I realised like I actually was leaving, I actually thought, oh, thank God, because I was really anxious to leave. And I know we joke and say obviously it's like pantomime, but I obviously mentioned earlier that like when you're in there, your whole reaction to how you're going to be is kind of always on your mind. So I think I knew kind of pretty much what my reaction would have been.
Yeah.
Hence why my fate was sealed and I backdoor boogies. So I knew it probably wouldn't have been positive. So I was actually really, really terrified about facing the public. And actually, to be fair, like my mum laughed as well, and she was like, "Of course, you wouldn't just have a normal eviction. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, of course, I wouldn't go in the same, like, leave the same way I came in. Like, why would you? Do you know what I mean? Why would I leave through a door? Well, I did leave through a door, but the back one. So, like, my mum was like, "Of course, it's so on brand that you have done a backdoor boogie." And actually, I try and not take things too seriously in life. Like, I don't care making a fool of myself. I literally sat on TV in my pajamas and my Sudocreme. Like, so for me, being covered in slime and going out the back door dressed as a spider that all the legs had broken, it was kind of it was quite on brand. I didn't really think, and actually, I wasn't too gutted. Like, you know, it would have been nice maybe to have the walkout, but actually, like, I had slime in my hair. My hair probably thanked me for giving it a wash that night when I got to the hotel. And it was nice. I had, a minute I left, I had a Diet Coke in my hand. I had a little chat. It was quite fun, and it was memorable. Like, do you know what I mean? And every eviction's obviously memorable, but for me, like, I can be like, Christ, do you remember as well? Like, of course I fucking left through the back door. Like, of course I had slime on my head. And it wasn't just leaving through the back door. I was covered in slime and really covered as well. Like, when I got out, they were like, oh, they really got you. And I was like, yeah, babes, I wasn't lying. Like, I really was covered in slime. So I was a little bit like, it would have been nice to have like the pictures as you come out and the, you know, seeing the crowd. But like, I still got the full experience. I went on late and live, and also luckily I had 24 hours in a hotel because obviously it didn't air to the next day. So I had, you know, a whole sort of day to decompress, to kind of get my head around I didn't have my phone, but I sort of ordered room service. We had chance to kind of chill, get my head around the fact that, you know, I'd been evicted and what life was going to kind of be. And then I got to go on late and live. So really it allowed me a time, because obviously when you get evicted, you have like 60 seconds before you are rushed over to the other studio. So actually it gave me time to just like gather my own thoughts. And like I had my makeup done for late and live. You don't get that when you get evicted.
Gorgeous.
No, well, thank you. But I wasn't covered in slime, so it was nice. Like I wouldn't change it at all, really, because it was a great end, and I was ready to go. I think at that point, I kind of knew.
Do you think the outcome would have been different, Martha, if it was vote to save? And the reason I ask that is I don't think enough people, say Tom for example, enough people would dislike him enough to vote to evict. But yeah, I don't think you'd have enough of a following to vote to save, where possibly you would have.
Some speculation in the house actually is we thought it was vote to save. So I was really shocked when I came out and I was like, oh, it's vote to evict. I was like, oh, Jesus, I thought it was vote to save. So the inside, and I guarantee that that's what they still think now, the ones that are left, because we all thought it was vote to save. But potentially, I think it's quite easy to get that confused. Like, I would think I was voting to save. I actually, someone commented on my TikTok earlier and was like, we realised once that we voted you, and then we had to use 2 phones to compensate that we voted you. But potentially, but I also think that, like, I think I'd sealed my own fate. Like, when I had that argument, I knew if it wasn't Tuesday, it would have been Friday. So in my head, I knew that, like, my time was up in there. And also I was quite struggling at that point. I was really missing home and missing a bit of some sort of normality. And I felt quite anxious about how I was going to be perceived. And then that was all creeping up. So I think actually, like, I know I got to 3 weeks. So for me, I did better than I thought anyway.
Yeah,
and
you did great.
I can say I experienced it. Thank you. I did all right. But I experienced it. And I think I'd made peace with the fact that I was happy to stay, of course, but I was also happy to go. So for me, going out the back door and then having that relief of, you know, not being booed by the public, I was like, oh, thank fuck. Like, listen, I didn't need any more. Do you know what I mean? Imagine going out in that slime, being booed in that. Oh, no. Yeah, it was.
It did give the iconic scene though of Lily screaming at the door. It looked like something out, the way they edited. It was like a horror film.
Yeah. I know, that was so. I know, and I felt so bad because it was such like a blur that like I like couldn't properly say like what I obviously said to them like thank and I love you all like, and I really meant that like, and I do love them all, but like it was such an overwhelming, because then in my head still I was like, no, you are going to take me, because in that like 10 seconds I was like, no, you're taking me to a room, why am I going to say a big speech, like I'm off to a room. And then when they actually, there was all the producers, I was, oh no, we are going, like we are actually off it.
You're out the door.
But no, that the wall, that picture of them all at the wall, I was like, and that's nice because I think actually it meant that like I did make some really lovely people in there, and in that moment I think most of them were sad.
Yeah,
like,
I think
I was
they were
going, and that
sad to
meant
see you
a
go.
lot because and I think that's really nice. Like, so hopefully it means that, you know, like you've met some nice people and got some nice friendships from it. So
Defo.
that's what I took from that.
So I know earlier we talked about kind of like mental health, and we talked about how the team, you know, are really good at kind of giving you that encouragement to be yourself and so on. I know from my insider knowledge from years ago that you get to speak to a therapist, or it's like a doctor, just to make sure that you're doing all right. And I just wanted to know, did you find that helped you cope being locked away, dealing with situations in the house, just having, to offload to somebody?
Definitely. I have found that so beneficial. I actually spoke to her today. So actually I've been out a week and a half and I am still touching base with that team. And I think it's really, really amazing that they do that. And I mean, this day and age, like we said, mental health is so important. And I am quite open with my struggles with mental health. I've got OCD, I have anxiety. So for me, it was naturally a bit of a worry going and locking myself and putting myself in a really intense environment for however long, really, and being stripped of all the things that make you feel sort of safe. So for me, OCD, like I really struggled with it a few years ago, and fortunately I've got it under control now because I've had therapy and I'm quite open and I talk about it, and again, it doesn't define who I am, it's just a tiny part of me, and I've had anxiety since I was 15. So I was really honest with the team, and sort of we explained and we went through all of the possible scenarios. There were so many things that if you went to the diary room and said you were struggling, they would assist you with, like and you could chat to, you never saw anybody, but you can speak to them if you need to. And definitely I find that so helpful. And I think in this day and age, it's really important that the mental health and the welfare team are, really amazing, because we live in a world where mental health is so important. And when you're doing a show like that is obviously potentially quite it puts you in quite a vulnerable position. Well, you put yourself in that vulnerable position, obviously, but it's you're stripped of anything that makes you feel safe. So it's really important that you feel like you've got people to talk to if needed, and 1,000% that is there for that show. Like the team, and I do genuinely mean this, like we've sent them all chocolates and biscuits to say thank you, because that team are impeccable. Like they check in on you all the time, like even post show, they've checked in on me.
That care,
still going now, like, and I've been gone, there's still people in there, there's people that have just come out that will need, and yet they still today called me and made sure I was okay, and we had a chat about things and asked me how I was coping, if I needed any help with adjustment and stuff. So they are so incredible, and they work so hard, like so hard on that show. And I think the welfare team, well, they're all incredible, but they are, and there's so many of them as well. Like there's there's a lady that is obviously for the therapy sort of side of things, but then you've just got the welfare team that look after you and just genuinely checking on you. So like the whole team there is just amazing, and you do really feel like that your mental health is looked after, and you can also speak up if you are struggling, which is lovely. And I think and they create that safeness for you to allow to yourself and to be able to speak up if you feel like you are struggling. Because I had days when right before the end I was really struggling and I felt really anxious, and I didn't really know why. I just felt really particularly anxious, and then I was getting anxious because I felt anxious and I didn't know why. And normally I've had anxiety, like I said, for like 12 years. For me now, when I feel anxious, like I'm quite good at it, like I just shut it down and I know why, or I just embrace it and I know it will pass. but when you're in there, you sort of go into a bit of a spiral. But they were so great at just like allowing you to speak to them if you needed, and to make you feel better and make you feel like your thoughts and feelings were valid, and try and rationalize it for you. So it's great. All I can say on that is that they're a great team, and I think it's so important that a show like that has got such a great team around it, and they really do, and that makes the show like, and you feel so
nice to
safe.
hear.
Yeah, it is
So
like
nice to hear.
really nice.
Well,
like great people.
I guess this is a good opportunity for us to plug the fact that we have our wonderful friends at Headspace that are giving our listeners 50% off a yearly membership. So if you're interested in 50% off your yearly membership with Headspace, then just enter the code down here, put it on screen for you, because it's a godsend. Breathing exercises, music to go to sleep, information on mental health, dealing with anxiety. So check it out. And if you want to get it, Martha, you can too.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that code, because I actually used Headspace and I use Calm, and if there's any way I can get a bit of discount on that, I'll be all over it, because they are great apps.
Yeah,
it's valid until
apps,
January 2025, I think.
So. And you can also find it in the description of this episode.
Amazing. I'd recommend that to anyone, even just like if you're on the train and you feel a bit stressed, put Headspace on, put Calm on, like they'll make you feel so much like calmer. And definitely.
We promise Lily screaming isn't anywhere to be found on Headspace.
Some people might like that, though.
Yeah. Some people might like the white noise.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Martha, Big Brother is at its core a social experiment. What's the most surprising thing that you learned about yourself through the whole experience?
God, I can't even pinpoint just one. I learned loads about myself. I learned that I'm not as confident as I think I am, that I actually still really struggle with my self-confidence, and also to sometimes just own things a bit more, and don't be afraid that like, just because like if I've got a thought or a feeling and I do feel like that about somebody, it's okay to say it, but also own it.
Yes.
Don't try and backtrack and say, I didn't mean it, or I did, because like I probably did mean it at that time.
Exactly.
So just say, I meant it at the time, but now I don't feel that. And just to take, maybe take a bit of accountability and try and not gossip as much, because it does come across two-faced, and I know that that's never my intention, but I can also see if you've just tuned in for half an hour and you've seen me be really nicey and then I've run off to somebody and said something else, then it makes, so I can see it. And I think that I've got loads of things to work on. I think we've always got things to work on as humans, no matter how old we are. But definitely it's to just own how I feel and be more confident, and just, it's okay if not everybody likes you. You don't have to make everyone like you, because not everyone's going to like you, and that's fine. But it's actually being fine with that factor.
Yeah, I embrace that. I'd much rather 50 people love me and 50 people hate me than 100 people think, he's okay. I'd rather that balance.
Yeah, I know, but it's so hard. I think when you've done it your whole life and you've really tried to be best mates with everybody and want everybody to like you, it's so hard to try and undo that. It's like a learned behaviour, isn't it? So like, I would desperately want everyone to like me, and then sometimes my partner says to me, "But do you even like them?" And I'd be like, "No." She'd be like, "Well, why do you try them?" And I'd be like, "Well, I don't know. You just do." Like, it's so true. Like, and I think it's just allowing yourself that like you're not going to be liked by everybody. That's fine. The people that love you and the people that get you and the people that matter are all that you really need to worry about. And as long as you've got them, that's all that matters. So yeah, lots of things to learn.
Love that. Do you think there's any long-lasting friendships that you developed from being in the house with the other housemates that will continue after this?
Definitely. I think Ali is always my from day one. I had a great relationship with her. I felt she was one of my safe people. Lily, again, like I've texted her tonight, so so I will stay in contact with Lily. She's like my little sister. Dean, I love Dean. I think he's a great person. We related on so many levels. Izaz as well. I love Izaz to pieces. He's such a lovely person. There's so many people in there that like, even like Khalid is lovely, Daisy is lovely. It's so many people. Sarah is lovely. I got on really well with Sarah. So I think there's lots of people that I will stay in touch with, and I feel really fortunate that, because they're people that I wouldn't meet in everyday life, some of them, and it's lovely that we're from all different, walks of life, and we've all come together and got to experience this unique, amazing experience together. So even if you know you're not the biggest fan of each other, you've always got that in common, and I think that that's such a beautiful thing to have in common with all those people. So all of them are amazing, and even if I don't stay in touch with, you know, all of them, I wish nothing but the best for all of them, because they are all amazing people, and that's all what matters, really.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to be said about whether you like someone or not. Sharing a core memory with someone is special. What's next for you, Martha? What are you looking forward to next?
I don't know. I'm just like, my mum said to me when I was doing this, so she was obviously quite anxious, and she just said to me, Martha, life is boring, and life, you know, as you get older, there's not many things that you know, it's work and it's bills and it's
boring's good.
So boring is great. Boring is great, and I love boring. Listen, I told you I can be in bed by 9 o'clock, so boring is great. But I think I don't really know. I really don't know, and I think that's okay. I don't really know what I'm doing with my career. You know, I'm happy in my job at the minute, but I don't really want to say it out loud in case I get sacked, but you know, maybe it's not my long term, it's not my forever.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I don't know. I'm just going to enjoy any little thing that comes from it, whether it lasts for 2 weeks or 2 days or 2 months. I'm just making the most of it and having a great time, because life's short, and just enjoy it. Just
take
just
everything
great. So
you
I've got no
can.
set plans. Definitely, I've got
You're
no
gonna
set
get,
plans.
like, loads of good opportunities hitting you. Like,
I don't know.
I hope so.
I think other people. I hope so. It'd be lovely.
You're singing
but
and
also,
everything.
Yeah, don't forget about the Christmas #1 sleigh belts.
Oh my God, we'll be all over that. I'll be DMing you after this.
Do it.
So I don't
We'll be in the
know. I think just ride the wave, you know, hopefully meet some amazing people and just enjoy life. I love life. I really do. And that sounds silly, but I love life. I love living. I love waking up excited for what the day might bring. And I've got great network around me, and I'm so, so grateful for that. So every day's a win, really. And if I get to do some little cool things like this on top of it, then I've really won the lottery. So, you know, it's great. This has been this is honestly, I just want to say thank you to all of you, because this has been such a lovely evening. Like, I was really looking forward to it, and it's been actually more than I could have imagined. Like, you guys are amazing, and
you've been amazing,
just lovely
Martha.
people. No, I've just had a great time. Like, and if you ever want a new member to join, I'm free. So I'd love to join your podcast.
I need another girl.
Could you imagine? But no, I'm joking. But just like it's just been really nice, and you all worked really, really hard, and you're doing a fabulous job. I'm not needing me to tell you that, but like, thank you for having me.
That's really nice to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Now you're giving us a compliment. I'm putting you on the spot, but I think you may have answered one part of it, because as this goes out on Friday, it's the grand final.
It is.
And if I'm right in thinking, there's 6 people still left in the house as we record. Unless there's any surprise eviction during the week.
Yeah, backdoor boogie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, who knows? Who knows what Big Brother's got up his sleeve?
I know.
So, who's your top 3?
Okay.
And the winner.
My top 3 are. Do you want them in order, like actual first, second, third?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. So first for me is obviously Ali. My Ali from day dot. I think she's an amazing person. She has so much to bring. She's so full of knowledge. She's brain. She's beauty. She's an icon. Ali for me is my winner. Second, I would have. It's a tough one between second and third. Hannah, probably, because she's been amazing. She is a great. Listen, and I know everyone's going to be like, oh, you're only saying that. No, I still love Hannah. We might have had a little argument, but we were very close in that house, and we're like sisters, and sisters argue, but we still love each other. And I wish, you know, she's an amazing, amazing girl. She's so funny. She's so clever. She's just brilliant. So she's very deserving of being in the top 3. Absolutely. And third for me, maybe controversial, is probably Marcello. Because I had a great. Listen, I know people say things about Marcello, but I had nothing but positivity and love from Marcello. He was great to me. Sometimes he did say things that were a bit maybe by the line, but we would always call him out on it. We would tell him on it, and we would say, and I felt comfortable enough to say it to him. But I think, you know, all in all, he's got a great heart, and he is actually a lovely guy, and he would always check in on me. He'd always make sure I was okay. You know, we're going to go to the studio together after this and do some singing, because he's lovely, and he's actually so we've got little plans. I hope he's going to keep his word, because I'm actually really looking forward to it. But no, he's a really nice person. So for me, I would love to see him in the top 3. I think it would be really nice for him as well.
Top 3. Like it.
They're my. Who do you guys want to win? Can you say?
I think Emma. I'm going to put my money on Emma.
Yeah, I think Emma's got a chance.
Emma, She's my next one day.
Marcello?
Yeah, she was
Marcello.
close between.
It's too late for that
Marcello.
party. I'm joking.
I do like Marcello.
Yeah. Emma is, again, Emma's an amazing person.
She's
and I think
hilarious.
she is funny. And I think it'd be close with her as well.
Yeah.
She'll be, she's a great person.
Like when she was
they
talking,
all deserve to be there.
when she was talking about, was it Shaggin and somebody else sitting on the fence, and they were like, "Yeah, splinter arse."
Oh, yeah, that's what she goes. When she goes, "Oh, splinter ass over there." She does come out with some great stuff, Emma. She does. And it's so hard now because everyone in there is great. So like, whoever it is, I think is going to be well deserved, and I'm sure everybody's going to be just fine and really successful. So
And you'll be there on Friday. You're going to be
there.
Yeah,
We'll be there. Just had a call today to say,
Amazing.
so we'll be there on Friday. We've got a party afterwards.
Yeah, the
so
rap
we've got the
party.
outfit sorted. So we're excited for that. Yeah, really excited for that. So it'd be nice to see everyone.
I went to the rap party for Andy's one. I had, and Jane,
Did you?
yeah, Jane Connery, who was in it, didn't end up staying, so I had her room instead.
Oh my god, iconic!
Were you in drag
Did you
in
get
the
any
after
goss from that
party?
night? Any goss?
Loads of goss.
I don't know. Danny, that's a conversation for off the camera.
Yeah, we'll DM.
Defo.
Well, Martha, I'm going to give you a little rapid fire round. So you just have to give me one name.
Okay.
For each question. Okay. So just as quickly as possible. First name that comes to your head. So, funniest housemate.
Marcello.
Biggest troublemaker.
Lily. In a great way, though.
Oh.
In a great way.
Biggest game player.
Nathan.
Ooh. Who plays to the camera most?
Say it. Khaled.
Nathan.
Oh, Nathan.
Ooh.
I can believe that.
I'm sorry, I
He's
have to.
gonna slate me so hard.
That was me, Nathan, not
Let it be
Martin.
known, Nathan, it's not me putting that sound effect in.
Who's the first housemate you'll have a drink at the rap party with?
Izaz.
Oh.
Aww. Who do you want to win? I know you've already mentioned.
Ali.
Most likely to win?
Hannah?
Okay.
Hannah, I think.
okay.
Hannah or Ali?
Oh.
Yeah. Hannah or Ali?
Yeah. Smelliest housemate?
None of them, actually. I can't say because none of them were.
Nathan, because you fart.
Yeah. No.
That was us, Nathan. That was us. It's not Martha.
Martha, stop pressing that button.
Sorry, Jane. I can't stop.
The person who has a heart of gold?
Rosie.
Ah, and snores the loudest.
It was Days, but she.
Oh.
Days was lovely. I never heard her, but she actually brought earplugs for everybody else.
Oh, well, that's nice.
She's so sweet. She was the sweetest snorer I've ever met in my life, honestly. The sweetest snorer I've ever met.
Oh, bless her. All right, well.
That was a nice little rapid fire round. That was good.
Yeah, that was cool. A lot of people know that you're a Taylor Swift fan, so we're just going to end the show with a little Taylor Swift quiz. Only 5 questions.
Oh my god!
And then we'll say our thank yous before we depart to go and watch Big Brother.
Oh yes, I know.
So we have a quiz every week in our podcast. James is like champion, so he's the one to kind of look out for.
James. Okay. Well,
Rach,
I don't also. If I get any of these questions wrong, I'm going to be cancelled from the Swifties because I won't be valid enough. So this is quite a lot riding on this now.
come on, Martha, you've got this.
I know.
So Rachel, Jake, they're pretty good as well, and I'm absolute shit.
I'm not very good at
Although I
quizzes
did win
either,
the
Danny.
musical one. I did win the musical one.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Go on, Danny.
Right, here we go with our Taylor Swift quiz. So I need to hear your buzzers.
Okay.
So, James, what's your buzzer?
This is my buzzer.
Did they have Victoria Sponge?
Love it. Jake, let's hear yours.
I'm going to go for a quick fire. Boop.
Oh, a boop.
There we go.
That's a good one.
Sorry, Jake, that didn't come true. Can you do that again?
I'm not falling for it again.
I'm just going to go with...
Oh, can you not do the boom? Vroom, vroom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you could do the boom.
I'm doing the
you're
quiz.
doing okay.
Oh,
Okay, I'll do the boom, boom, boom. Then.
that's good.
And
That's
then
good,
Martha,
Rachel.
what's going to be your buzzer?
Slay.
Yes!
Slay.
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 Okay.
Slay.
All right, here we go. So, first one in. Here's your first question.
Okay.
What are Taylor's fans referred to as?
Did they have Victoria Sponge?
Slay.
That was James.
Yeah, go on, James.
Swifties.
Go on, James.
Is the correct answer.
Woo!
James,
Go on,
you
James.
have 1 point. All right, here's
Right,
your
okay.
next question. In what year was Taylor Swift born?
Slay.
That's Martha.
1989.
That's correct.
Oh.
Well done. Also, her
Yes.
first album, wasn't it?
James, I'm coming for you.
You're coming
Oh, this is a hard
your
one.
brand.
neck and neck.
You have to be a bit of a
Okay.
die-hard fan for this one. What is the first name of Taylor Swift's real-life childhood
Victoria
best
Sponge.
friend?
Oh,
No, I buzzed in too early.
James. No, I'm going to have to take an answer, I'm afraid.
Let's go with Martha.
That's incorrect.
Imagine it's not.
It is not.
Oh,
So
Slay.
Oh, Martha. She's straight in.
I don't know it, but I'm just going to say, is it James?
It's not James.
Oh,
But if you
Lars.
let me
Poor Lars
finish,
Martha.
if you let me finish the question. So Martha and James are out for this one now. What is the first name of Taylor Swift's real life childhood best friend? The inspiration for the song 15.
Boop.
Oh, okay. That is not the right answer.
Even his buzzer has a question mark at the end of it. Boop.
I'm going to go for Sophie.
Incorrect. Which leaves just Rachel. Do you want to have a guess?
Dum, wum,
D5.
Martha is
no
asking
idea.
for her battery to be turned off.
I have no idea. I'm gonna go with like Rebecca.
It's not. It's actually Abigail. Abigail Anderson is one of her childhood best friends they met in English class. So it's the inspiration
I
behind.
didn't even know that, so I'm a fake fan.
No, it's a difficult one. It's a
Aw,
difficult
that's
one.
something.
But I wanted to just see how diehard you really were. All right. Now you've got to
Clearly
get
not
this
enough,
one.
Danny. Clearly not enough.
So James is leading with 1 so far.
No, Martha has one
And-
too.
Oh no, Martha's got one as
Martha's got
well.
one.
It's 1-1. You're right.
Joint.
Here is
shouldn't have said anything.
question number 4. I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you is lyrics from which Taylor Swift's 2019
Slay.
song? Martha.
Oh, you see, was just keep you and I stepped into the garden gate. And now there's something to say my friend. I love you.
Listeners, this is not in double speed.
Cruel summer, cruel summer, cruel summer.
Is
It's
the
cruel summer.
correct answer.
Well done, Martha.
Martha leads with 2 to James's 1. Jake and Rachel on 0.
He's fuming. Look at him. He's fuming.
Okay.
He's going red something.
Here
fuming.
is the last question.
Okay.
Come on,
What
Martha.
is
Come on.
Taylor Swift's middle name?
Did they have Victoria Sponge?
It's Martha
Oh.
straight in.
Alison. Taylor Alison Swift.
Is the correct answer, and Martha wins the quiz. She is a true Swiftie.
She's
Martha.
a Swiftie. Oh, thank God.
Congratulations, Martha.
Thanks,
you
Ashley.
are an absolute sweetheart. You really, really are.
Aw.
We've loved having you. I feel like we're going to keep in touch now as well. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
defo. I'd love to keep in touch. I've said obviously like a few times, but I've had the most amazing chat with you guys. Like I feel like I've been speaking to like my best friends. It's been great. You've made me so happy. Like we've had I've laughed loads. Like it's just been really lovely. And I didn't really know what to expect. Like when you asked me to do it, I was a bit like, of course, but I was like, oh God, like what if they're gonna hate me or it's all gonna be but like you are the four loveliest and you work so hard and I've had the best time and you are so fab at what you do, and I genuinely mean that. I'm not going to go and say otherwise. I promise.
She's going to go to the diary room now and slate us.
But no, I promise. But I've had such a lovely time. So thank you so much for inviting me, and yeah, I've really loved it, and I'd love to come back and chat with you guys. It's been
we
amazing.
love that too.
Thank you so much.
We'll definitely keep in touch.
For replying.
I'm going to be listening to you every week now, by the way.
Oh, I hope so.
Like I spoke to them.
Well, look, have an amazing rap party, which is this evening. If you're listening to this today, then you're at the rap party tonight. I hope lots of opportunities open up for you. You know, I think, like you said, you know, you're 27 now. You're still young. The doors are wide open for you. So, and I would just say, grab all of those opportunities as you can. You know,
the front door this time.
The front door, not the back door.
Not with any slime. No slime. No, thank you so much. Like honestly, yeah, it's been amazing, and you're all superstars and fab, so fab at what you do. It's almost like you've got a podcast. You could have your own podcast, you know.
All right, well, thank you very much. We will see you next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Thanks for watching this episode of Meet in the Middle.
If you enjoyed this episode, why not check out the others?
And see that subscribe button? Smash it.
And while you're there, hit that bell notification and drop us a like. We'll see you next time.